here at Backstage, pass out laughing. Yes, sir, here at Backstage, staying on topic with conversation, make you think, hey, please don't be scared, making a fuss, they jokes, partner, please lighten up, cause comedy's about making life funny, bruh. And if you're ready for the show now, follow me backstage, cause it's about to go down.
Cause I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity, blackity, black, black, y'all. That ain't no lie. I am. Yeah. But my mama used to tell me all the time that the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And then Tupac told me the darker the flesh, man, the deeper the root. So, hey, what's up? It's yours truly, the voice, Mr. Savoir Fair, the D.L. Marshall. And man, as you see, we're coming out of Black History Month, but I am black 365 days a year, 366 this year. So I'm put on my kufi dashiki, and yeah, so we don't want no type of eBay jokes. I'm watching y'all. All right, put in the comments how much you guys have enjoyed season 2 of DL's Backstage Pass Conversation. Bam Brown is off again, man. Y'all. Have y'all been thinking that Bam has been off work a little too long? Yeah, me too. But I miss you, Bam. And as you can see, yeah, this way. No, that way. Yeah, that way. Bam has my back, and I always have his. But man, we've got a dope conversation with a dope conversationalist on today. Man, y'all not gonna believe who we got here. When you talk about when you see somebody in person and you be like, huh. That's a nice fragrance. When you see somebody and they go by and you be like, wow, that's a nice dress. Woo, did you see those shoes? I'm talking about class with a long splash of pizzazz. This person here is the epitome of Florida when you think about Florida sisters. I said what I said and you heard what you heard. Yeah, but I like getting people like this person on the show because she does what I do. She do it a little bit better. She do it a little bit more lovely. She put a little more pretty on it, but she does what I do and she does it well. Now listen here. A lot of times when we get on the side of the microphone that she's going to be on, yeah, we kind of get, yeah, but she's here. She's more than capable. Listen here. Who am I talking about? I'm glad y'all asked. CEO, founder of Lady Drina Ministries, LLC, 11 years radio personality, MC, host, booking manager, psalmist, and I didn't know she could sing until I just heard her singing happy birthday to her daughter. So guess what? I just told you she was a mother too. And guess what? She's a friend of mine, a friend of DL's Backstage Pass. Y'all put y'all hands together for none other than the fantabulous. I made it up, but you gonna repeat it. Fantabulous Miss Lady Drina Penn. What's happening, Drina?
What's up, man? Listen, with that type of introduction, Lord Jesus, I'm like, who, me? Who he talking about?
It fits.
Well, so I'm so happy to be a part of the DL Marshall Show. Listen, I feel like this DL Backstage. I feel like I'm somebody real big, baby, because everybody don't get invited on this platform. Now, this is the platform to be.
Well,
everybody don't get invited.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you well deserving of it. And
I am grateful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we know you're very busy and we thankful. I hate Bam wasn't here to be able to partake in these festivities.
To chop up with Bam.
Yeah, man. But let's go on and get the ignorance underway. We've gotten the pleasantries out the way. Let's go ahead and crack this conversation. So, Lady Drina.
Yes.
Ladrina Penn. Did I say that right?
Nope. It's actually Rodrina.
Rodrina.
My real name is Rodrina. I go by the bottom portion of my name, which is Drina.
Bottom portion of the name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the bottom portion, that wouldn't have to be like a power bottom or nothing like that, would it?
Well, I actually got my name from my dad. My dad's name is Roderick. And so I'm Rodrina, named after my dad. And make it, you want to do it? And because the way my name is spelled, a lot of people used to call me Rodrina. instead of Rodrina. And so, and then I've been called Trina. I've been called all kinds of things. So I said, let me just help y'all. And my name is Drina.
Right.
Drina, you know.
And if you're gonna put anything before the Drina, put lady before it. Okay.
Good
Okay.
lady. That's what I am. If y'all can call Lady Gaga lady and all the rest of these fake ladies, I'm a lady. You understand what I'm saying? Praise Jesus. Praise
I love
him.
it. I love it. So with the industry so far, we've been requested to be swallowed, to just get swallowed up. When we also look at, we got swag and surfing going on in the sanctuary on New Year's Eve. We're looking at Kelly Price saying that the Sunday best judges and hosts are stepping out and sleeping with others outside of their marriages and with kids and boys.
The drama.
How do you? We understand Cat broke the network, but
the internet,
man. But it looked like he set the tone for 2024.
He did.
And I really believe when people was rhyming much more in 2024, I don't think that they had in mind.
Not that. Definitely not that.
So how do you, Lady Drina, stay a lady but stay relevant, and when to report on and when not to report on certain things, such as the topics that we've been hand-fed as late?
I just believe in grace. I believe in grace. And so for me, how I stay in the position that I'm in is I make sure I carry myself as my title. I carry myself as a lady. Every time I step out, every time I go somewhere, I carry myself as a lady. If you want to be treated as a lady, you carry yourself like one. You don't carry yourself like a thought. You don't carry yourself like a hoochie. You don't carry yourself like a dirty foot. You understand? You represent the label that you carry. Okay.
What was that last one? Dirty foot.
Dirty foot. You just, it's just a certain way. Now, let me just be honest. Have I been perfect? No.
Right.
Have I gotten everything right? No. Right. I ain't dotted every I. I haven't crossed every T. Do I have skeletons? And I'm gonna keep mine. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep them.
But you know what?
Ain't your business. But it's just how you carry yourself.
Yeah, you live in proof of the scripture that once you know better, you ought to do better. And so
do better.
We've all had a learning platform to where you like, okay, because if a lot of you that are watching me or anything like me, you did some things that you knew was wrong, but you was tired of being. Look, I'm a pastor's kid. I'm tired of doing it for you.
You a PK kid.
Yes.
Lord Jesus. You know they say them PK kids the worst kids.
And you know what
they say now? They lie.
You know what I tell them?
Ain't the worst. We ain't the
you know
worst.
What I tell them, Drina? I say, no, y'all just nosy tails always looking at us. So
in
if
our
you look
business,
at somebody,
that's it. Mm-hmm.
You look at somebody long enough, you're gonna see something that you want to see. But I went to a point in my life to where I was tired of living for everybody else. A lot of things I didn't do because I didn't want to bring shame to my pastor father and my first lady mother. But then I started saying, man, if I do it like that, I'll be hypocritical. So I'm going to be the pastor's. Yeah, I'm gonna be the pastor's kid that he's known that you better not mess with him because he be done throw them punches. You better leave him alone because he be done gave you some sailor words because I could put them together. I came together with some compound cuss words that made some sailors be like, hold on, sir, let me write this down. But glory be to God that he gave you dispensation of grace to get it right. Now I ain't got to cut you with those words. How did you go about coming into your own as a PK?
Oh my goodness. Coming to my own, I was very sheltered. I was the only girl in my mom's household. My mom had 2 boys and me, and I was the baby. So I was sheltered. I was very sheltered. My mom grew up apostolic. If you know anything about the Apostolic Church of Jesus, they were the ones that didn't believe in holidays. I couldn't get perms. I could not wear pants.
Wait.
So
Stop, Drina. Stop. You couldn't get a perm?
Couldn't get
a
perms.
A black girl in Florida couldn't get a perm?
Nope. And my mom believed in natural hair. She always have believed in natural hair. So we had the burned foreheads, okay? The burned ears. That's what we had. So yes, and so I'm half Caribbean. So I am my father. Yeah, my father was born in the British Virgin Islands of Tortola. So my mom is American.
I can see that
my
right
dad.
Up in there. Yeah, I can see your island. Yeah, island.
You can see my island.
Yeah, come here,
I got an accent sometimes, only when I'm mad.
Yeah, come here,
only when I'm mad, it comes out.
Me got something me want to say unto your girl.
Right. So with that, being very sheltered and having to be directly underneath both of my parents, and then my mom switched, and we end up probably in my early years, we became part of the Church of God in Christ, Malone Memorial Church of God in Christ, in Orlando.
To Kojic. Woo!
To Kojic, yes. Apostolic to Kojic. And so my upbringing was a lot. It was a lot. And so by me being so sheltered, when I did get out, baby, did I get out? You understand what I'm saying? When I did become myself, the Lord had to bring me back in. You understand what I say?
Hey, Drina, what'd you say?
Jesus.
Drina, what'd you say? Oh, is that freedom?
Hey, when they say you start smelling yourself, baby, I smell good. You hear me? The Lord had to come and get me and say, come on back over here now. You playing too much. You playing too much. So I was, but God had really kept me. I'm just gonna be honest. God kept me, and
Praise
it was
God.
mainly because of the design and the call that He had on my life. So He kept me, brought me in, even though I went out there for about 2 years. Yes, sir. I was out there good for about 2 years. Okay?
But God bless you.
Let me tell you what brought me in. Oh, He blessed me.
Listen here.
I got to tell you what brought me in. Go ahead.
From 19 to about 25, I was on a world tour with a mic in my hand. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Prodigal son. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh no. So for me from 18 to about 20. 18 to 20 for me. I was a heavy drinker. A lot of people don't know that. Literally from 18, I was a heavy drinker. I never used drugs in my life, and I've never smoked in my life. But drinking was my problem. I would drink heavy. And so God had to really bring me in. And I was a fighter. I fought
I can see that.
a lot. That fighting started the fighting started in school. I did. The fighting started in school. I used to get bullied a lot because of my religion, and because other kids, they had more. I was the student that had to wear a skirt, a dress, or culottes. You know when we had culottes back in the day? Okay, I was that girl. Okay, I was that girl with the culottes. Don't you be laughing?
And the hot comb hairstyle.
Yes, and the hot comb hairstyle. So I used to get teased and bullied and picked at a lot because I was the church girl. And that's what they would call me, the church girl. And so round about the 6th grade is when I just got tired of people pulling my hair, because my hair was long. It's always been very, very long, but it was long and thick. And so, and it was always curly. I got real curly hair if we don't straighten it. And so they would pull my hair to make sure it was real and just kick me down outside and just little stuff. And I was always afraid to fight back for myself. And I just remember one day I just got tired. I was in the 6th grade. I got tired. And I ain't gonna call the girl name because she's on my Facebook page right now.
Don't say
but
it.
this
Don't
one girl,
Don't say it,
This
Drina.
one girl is one girl. I changed her life and she changed mine. Because that one day she bullied me, I had done had enough. I had done had enough. And by then, baby, everything done changed. And what nobody wanted to hit me and fight me no more. I guess they didn't know that I was raised up with boys and I learned how to fight. You understand? And so after 6th grade, I started, it was a cycle of a person that was a bully to now not becoming a bully, but I'll stop you from bullying me before you bully me. You understand what I'm saying? So I never started anything with anybody. But as soon as you started it, I promise you, you're going to get a fist to your face. I'm going to kick you. I'm going to hit you. Something was going to happen to you immediately. So in high school, I ended up, they gave me a hallway in high school. I went to Evans High School in Orange County. And school SRO named me the 400 hallway because I got in a fight every week in the 400 hallway.
Hey, 400, what up, man? Hey,
400 hallway.
When you said that you would deter people from bothering you before they really got the notion to bother you, my great uncle used to say, I can't say that you won't, but I bet you I can break you of that habit. So you became efficient in habit breaking.
Habit breaking, baby. I'm gonna break your habit. What you ain't gonna do is bother me today or tomorrow.
All right, so obviously we got to, and we gonna get a whole lot in a short amount of time. So obviously you went from a whole lot of people trying to make fun of you and pick at you to a whole lot of people realizing that ain't nothing to play with. You're gonna faith around and find out if you ain't careful. And then and then all of a sudden there came a year where people was like, ooh, that ain't Drina, that's Drina. When did you become the swan or the dove or the butterfly that we see today?
I would say the Drina came around the time I got married. I'm not married now. I am divorced. But around the time that I got married, I immediately became a first lady. It was a lot. Okay. It was a lot. So Drina came during that time. I started to become myself a lot more then. By me being a PK kid and growing up in ministry, I had already been ordained by the time I was 14, 15 years old.
Wow.
I was ordained as an evangelist. I walked in the calling of a prophetess for so many years. So obviously I got married to a pastor.
Right.
Immediately after I got married to the pastor, he became the bishop immediately. And so we had ministries, we had a lot of different things. And so trying to separate myself from my mom's background, because she was a worldwide evangelist and a pastor. And so my mom's name was huge here in this area and many other areas. She traveled the world as a worldwide evangelist. So a lot of people knew me as Baby Cakes, her child.
Baby Cakes.
So I was Baby Cakes, her child, right? Baby Cakes. That's the nickname. Baby Cakes, her child, right? So right. I was underneath that. Right, for years I was underneath that, and then I get with a man of God, a bishop, and now I'm a shadow underneath him. And at this time, I'm still very young. I don't know who I am yet. Right. So Drina started to form during that time.
Cool. So we're looking at, we go from our formative years, pretty much tomboy. You got some brothers. You kind of want to do some things, but the restrictions coming under a holy pastoral home kind of restricted. And I'm being light when I say kinda. I heard you say at 14 you were ordained, walking in the steps that was for you, but those steps it seemed like from your testimony so far that they were premeditated, like they were pushed along. And I remember a lot of people, because I could sing and because I spoke well when it came, you get the Easter speeches, and I was the kid that I get my Easter speech. I could look at them little 5 to 8 lines. I didn't need paper, while other kids was up there with paper. Oh, you got anointing on your life. You gonna be, and that scared me because I'm there when my dad get the phone calls. You know what I mean? I know how it is to have a hot plate in front of you. You got to push back from the table and go take care of something before you can eat. I know how it is. As soon as you take your shoes off and get in the bed, you got to hop out. That ain't for me. And plus, I like what I'm doing. I like sleeping late on Sundays sometimes. Like I came up in the household, as long as you here, you going to church. Boy,
you go to church.
When I got a chance to go play baseball, and I was up under my own castle roof, let me tell you, if I make it, I'll see you. But
listen,
yeah,
I understand.
But
I understand.
At age 24 is when I first heard God's voice calling me to ministry. And when I tell you I ran 4-year marathon, you hear me? And he laid me down, but that's for another time. He laid me down to get my attention.
Wow.
Thank God he didn't have to lay you down to get your attention.
Yeah. He did some things to get my attention. So as a kid, I knew I was called. I knew I was gifted. I would have vivid dreams. I could see things and tell people what I saw. I had dreams about myself that literally happened verbatim to what my dreams were. And so I knew I was different. I knew I was called. And I started preaching and prophesying around about the age of 9. Wow. And so my mom would have me to preach, and I do praise and worship. That's kind of the things that I did: praise and worship, preach, and stuff like that. I've been singing since I was, according to my mother, 2 years old. Wow. A lot of people don't know I sing because when I started doing radio, I kind of deleted that half of my life, in a sense. My ministry, as in preaching and traveling with that and singing, it went to the back burner for radio and promoting and the things that I do.
Man, we have so many things that parallel and different. And if you want to elaborate on what I'm going to allude to, that's up to you. But there came a situation that happened, and I reached out and I was like, hey, look, man, I don't have no mega nothing, but I do have an avenue, and I know how it feels to be blindsided in your profession, in our career, to come in and have something taken away. Explain to us how exhilarating it was when you first got in the radio, and how, and then even on the flip side, when that tenure came to an end.
And this is a thing. It was prophesied over my life that I would do radio and I would do TV and all these different things, but I never really honed in on it. And just so happened, like I said, we were ministers and pastors in the city, and we put our church had a radio broadcast that we was airing in Sanford, Florida. And so that's kind of how I became a part of the radio then. And so we were doing so well there, and our name got sent to the radio station that I was employed to. And it was like, hey, we got a spot here. We would love for you guys to come join this broadcast, blah, blah, blah. So we moved, we kept the Sanford, and then we joined in with this particular radio station with our ministry. And so during that time, me and my ex-husband, we was going through our issues. And so we was borderline. Okay. We was borderline during that time. And I wanted to, I was sitting there one day and I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, you need to do a show. I literally heard God say, you need to do a show. And I was like, what am I going to talk about? These people ain't going to listen to me. I knew they had listened to me as the first lady, but will they really listen to me, you know?
Right.
And so one day I went to the owner and I said, I really want to do a show. I feel like I can. She said, well, what you gonna talk about? I said, I don't know. I had no clue. And
So,
so she ended up telling me, okay, do it. She gave me a slot. And I ended up paying for a 1 hour slot. And there was another lady there. Her name was Tammy. Tammy took me under her wings and she just began to teach me. Tammy and one other person. They just kind of teach me how to interview and just work with me, allowed me on her show a lot of times and different things like that. And so I began to become my own radio person, not mimicking nobody else,
right.
just taking what I learned to form who I am. Okay.
And
And so it just kind of worked. I didn't understand how God placed all of that, but he did. And so I had been on the radio for about 3 years. I'm paying for my own broadcast. And I was working as a police and fire medical dispatcher. And I had been doing that for about 13, 14 years at the time. And I ended up losing that job.
wow.
And so when I lost that job, it was a lot. So I went to the station owner and I said, hey, I'm going to end my show because I just can't afford to pay this $6,000 a year right now because I need to establish myself differently, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no,
Right.
I don't want you to leave the radio. And so at that time, a radio spot opened up and this lady told me, she said, God said, that's your spot. I said, well, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do that. And she
Yeah.
said, no, that's your spot. So I helped them hire somebody else. And that person started. She didn't stay. She left. They wanted a female. I helped them hire another female. She didn't stay.
God said, I
She
told
left.
you, Drina. God said, I
So
told you, Drina.
literally. And so I was like, okay, this is my job. Maybe it is. And so I said, well, let me play around with it one day. I played around with it one day. And the head guy over the radio, he called in. He was like, quit playing on the radio. Da, da, da. And then so the owner was like, the owner said, I told her she can do it. She ain't gonna learn until she knows how to do it. Da, da, da. And so I did it. And what was so ironic is the year I became the announcer, because I was just a radio host for many years. The year
Uh-huh.
that I became a radio announcer was in 2016. 2016,
Okay.
I became the radio announcer, but I was a radio host before that on air. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I ended up getting nominated for 2 awards in 2016 for Radio Announcer of the Year. And I couldn't
Wow.
understand how I got Radio Announcer of the Year, and I had not yet become that person
Right.
and won both awards.
Wow.
I said,
Wow.
okay, God. Okay, God. Okay, God, this you. This
Yeah.
you. This is definitely you, because there's no reason for this. So it's definitely you. And so it was literally God pushing me into something. And I started working at radio pro bono. I never got paid for 2 years. And a lot of people
Mhm.
don't know that. I didn't get paid for 2 years. I just did it. And when they let me go from the other job that I was at, they let me go good. I got a good amount of money to sit on at
You
that
said they let
time.
me go good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Uh-huh.
I was wrongfully let go. And I've
Okay.
been asked several times to come back. I choose not to because mentally I can't do no more 911 calls. I'm just gonna be honest.
Gotcha.
That's different now. And
Yeah.
so I was able to build a platform through God and by keeping God first. I always keep God first in everything that I do. So when that came to a halt, it was hard. It was
Yeah.
very hard because the reason it came to a halt was on a lie. It was on a lie. It was on miscommunication. It was on stuff that it should not have happened at all. At all.
Right.
And so it did hurt. It hurt. I have forgiven. I've actually been working back with that particular station. No, I'm not on the air, and I do not plan to go back on that air, but I do
Mhm.
help them with their sales. I sell commercials for them at times, and I help them with stuff like that. I still love them and thank them for the opportunity that I had, because it was an amazing opportunity. Although when I traveled, because I already had a name when I came
Right.
there. So when I began to travel and go places, I took their name with me.
Right.
Okay. I took their name with me. When I sponsored events under their name with my money. So when
Wow.
they became known in other states and other cities, it's because I went there.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Been
so
there.
that's why I was so offended and
Yeah.
hurt by the dismissal.
And it's so funny that a lot of times when things like that happen, Drina, they think they're catching you off guard. But when you got God's protection and his hedge around you, nothing is off guard.
Nothing.
We may not sometimes give a keen ear to what is being told to us, and we get complacent. And I hate when I find myself in a space of complacency, because it causes me to ignore the identifying signs when it's time to progress or move on. And so tell us, not you've landed on your feet, of course. So tell
And let
us
me just
how.
say this: God
Yeah.
never knocked me off my feet.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
just say that.
Yeah.
I was bruised and I was hurt, but he never let me fail. Never let me fall. Not once. He
Praise God.
never let me fall. And so I was so grateful, because a year before this happened, a woman of God spoke into my life and said, get your own LLC. She said, get your own LLC, create your own radio platform. And so that's what I began to do. I had my own internet radio station for a few years, way prior to all of this, through Jay Williams. Okay.
I
So
know
I had
Jay.
already
Shout out to Jay.
experienced, right. I had already experienced, by his help, Jay Williams' help, and bringing me a part of Indie One Network. I had my own radio station. So I've already had created a platform outside of theirs.
Wow.
I just needed to incorporate it. And so the woman of God told me to do it. And I was like, nah, I ain't finna do all that. Da, 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 da. She said, listen,
Drina hard-headed.
you gonna do it.
Drina hard-headed.
She said, you gonna do it. I was like, y'all ain't finna keep putting all this stuff on me. You gonna do it. And she said, I called you to sow this into your ministry. And I know she don't mind me saying it, her name. Or maybe I shouldn't. I don't know, because some people don't like you telling what they did. But she blessed me, and she helped me. Miss Loretta Coleman, amen. She helped me to start this, and she actually got this for me. Okay,
Praise
my
God.
LLC a year prior to this happening, and this is the word she said to me. She said, "That's their radio station, not yours. What if anything ever happened?" That's what she said. This is their radio station, not yours. What if anything? See, God could have spoke that to her, and she not knowing this was going to happen a year later. But she listened to the voice of God to sponsor me, to help me, and get me built on a platform. And immediately when I was replaced, because that's the words they use, replaced on air, immediately I had this to fall back on. So what did I do? I had events already where I was supposed to be setting up, blah, blah, blah. So I called all those events and I say, hey, I'm no longer backed by this radio station. I said, do you still want me to come to your events? Da, 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 da. They said, we didn't book you because of the radio station. We booked you because of who you are and what you brought to the table. But with my heart and my honesty, I had to be upfront. You understand? My heart and my honesty had to be upfront with them. And so immediately I went, made fly. I called John. John did all my new logos. He did all my flyers. He did everything for me in the matter of 2 days. I went to the printer. I printed everything. I set up and went to that event. I set up as Lady Drina Live Ministries, LLC.
Amen.
And from that moment, I've still been right there.
See, that's moving. Dope. That's dope. And I was cheering for you when I saw it. I was like, yes, because you are one of the voices that we need. Your integrity is what we need. There's a coalition of radio I see coming together, and I've been telling even at our church that there's a third eye that has opened up, and and our viewers a lot know that I'm a stand-up comedian as well. So if there's a third eye that opens up, and when that opens up comedically, you like, oh yeah. But when it opens up spiritually, you like, uh-oh.
Yes.
Because sometimes you got to tell some loved ones some things you see that's not going to be flattering.
That's not favorable.
Sometimes you're going to see things about yourself that's not going to be flattering. And so he's been showing me. And so I'll talk with you off of here, but it's a couple of other people I reached out to that God showed me. And I will say this, when you have the skills that you possess, when you have the favor that you've been granted and shown, it would be hard pressed for any individual to stop that progression outside of it being yourself. So I'm grateful that you got a chance to have some people speak to you, and you finally quit saying that ain't me, and you said okay. And
listen, I'm the most hard-headed sometimes person in America. I do not take stuff the first time. Let me tell y'all, someone prophesied to me years ago, and she said the Lord showed her that I was going to get a Mercedes-Benz. I looked at her and I said, no, ma'am, I'm not. I'm not getting a Mercedes-Benz.
Just stop your blessings.
I said, because I don't buy foreign cars, and I'm all attitude, from one prophetess to another one. You understand? God would have done told me that. That's how I felt. And so the lady told me just like this. I said, the only way I'm going to get one is somebody must going to give it to me because I'm not buying one. She said, well, you need to prepare yourself because someone's either going to give it to you, but you're going to have one.
She stood on business.
She stood on business. She stood on business. It happened years later. But somebody gave me a Mercedes-Benz.
See? Now, Drina,
it happened years later.
Let me ask this question. What line do DL got to stand in to get one of them given to me Benzes? Because I can use the given to me Benz.
I know that's right.
Lord, if you're listening, I can use one of them give it to me Benzes right now, Lord.
Let me tell you something. I believe, how people say you get certain people mantles. My mom was a traveling evangelist, a big name here, amazing woman of God. And my mom had that kind of grace. My mom and my auntie, they have a grace over their life that is ridiculous. I've always prayed for their grace. Okay. Yeah. And I seen some of the favor of their grace because I don't remember my mom ever buying a car.
Wow.
I do not. My mom walked on a car lot years ago, and I told you she was a very powerful evangelist in her time. She walked on a car lot, and it was Molinex Ford. It was one of the biggest chains of Ford. And she walked, and she said, "The Lord said for you to give me a car." Them people looked at my mom like she was crazy, but she said, "Where's the manager? Who's over this building?" The Lord said to give me a car. My mom laid her hands on the car she wanted. And I was a young girl and I seen this happen. They gave my mom the keys. They said, well, we're going to do some paperwork, They gave my mom that car. She drove off the lot with that car with no payments and never paid for that car. They gave her that car.
Wait, Drina. Now, if you get a phone call, I'm blaming this on you, but I'm about to go when we get done. I'm gonna go to a car lot and say, Lord, the first car lot that I drive by.
You gotta have that grace. You better know grace for the moment.
Lord, first car lot I drive by, I'm stopping, Jesus, because I ain't gotta go past no car lots. And then I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna say, the Lord told me that y'all got to give me a car now. I heard.
Listen, that was her grace. I've never been able to do it. Okay.
I hear the Lord say.
I hear the Lord say.
Touch this one right here. Y'all see me. I'm touching.
But I didn't have that grace, but my mom did.
Yeah.
She did. And I've seen people give her cars. My mom had given so many cars that she would give cars away herself. The cars that she was blessed with, she'll find families to give it to. My
Wow.
auntie right now, she didn't know how to drive for many years. She didn't start driving to her like 30s and 40s. Okay. As soon as she started to drive, a woman of God bought my mom a car off the showroom floor, paid in full. When
I'm
that
moving
car
forward.
got old, that same woman of God told my auntie it's time for her to change her car. She said, go pick out you another car, and went and got my auntie another showroom 0 miles car, paid in full. Them women have a grace over their life that's amazing.
I'm moving to Florida.
They have a grace over their life that's amazing.
I'm
And
on
that's
my way,
no
Lord.
joke. That's
I'm
no
on my
joke.
way. Yeah, that's
So I
beautiful.
just pray for their mantles. I pray for their grace.
For real.
I need it, Jesus.
It ain't got to
We
be
in the
no
same
Ben.
bloodline, God. Pass it down. Thank you, Jesus. Give it on over to me. Hallelujah.
Oh man. So, Lady Drina, you say that you want, and we're teasing and laughing that you want your mom's name mantle and your mom's name grace, and you alluded to a couple of times that your mom was a very popular traveling evangelist. Well, you travel heavy. Your travel schedule is heavy. How did you get into that? And how, I know you're gonna say it's God, but how do you believe outside of the favor of God, the grace of God, that you have continuously been this busy? I know for at least for myself, 3 years and better. It's just been I've seen you turn away events.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it was definitely it was all of God, but it was also being in rooms and
Yeah.
knowing what to do when you get in those rooms. You
That's the point I
understand?
wanted to get on. Yeah.
When doors open for you, the door open. So it's up to you to shut it behind you.
Right.
Or walk back out of it.
There you
Okay.
go.
So it's what you do when you get in the room. So an opportunity that really helped me get on the map with hosting and traveling was the fact that I used to travel to the family reunion, the quartet family reunion that used to be in Alabama, Georgia. Was it Alabama, Georgia? What's the name of
Is it what is now
the
the
family
Alabama?
reunion?
Is it now what they're calling the fest?
No, it was the family reunion.
Okay.
Mr. Stevenson was over it. His name
Okay.
was Mr. Stevenson, and it was a big, humongous quartet event that came around every year during Valentine's. It was a Valentine's quartet audition. You had to be there all day long because over 25 artists was gonna be there. And it was amazing. Albany, Georgia. That's it. I knew if I
Albany,
kept talking,
Georgia.
I get it. Albany,
Okay.
Georgia. And they would have the Albany Civic Center packed out to the max. All day long event. It was amazing. So I was blessed that day. Someone turned my name in as a radio announcer, and the guy CJ Taylor, I think that's what his name is. He came up to me and he said, "Hey, you're a radio personality here." I said, "Yes." And I was so timid and nervous. He was like, "Yes." I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, listen, I want you to come up here and introduce yourself and bring on the next group. Introduce yourself now and bring on the next group." I was like, "Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're going to do it." But for me, you put a mic in my hand, it's easy because I was a worship leader, right?
Yeah.
I was a minister. So when I
People
get a
disappear.
mic, all I got to do is translate. Yeah, I got to translate this now differently. All right. So when I got up, and there's still a video on Facebook with that, I got up and I announced myself, and I was amazed at who I brought up, because when I look back, I was like, "Oh, they want me to bring up the Cantons." I love this, And so, and that time, Harvey had Keith Wonderboy Johnson. The
And
lineup in the
Paul.
back was crazy. He had Keith
Wow.
and Paul Porter. So I turned
Wow.
around and none but legends standing behind me. Okay.
Wow.
Now I was fans of them. I had met them because my ex-husband is a traveling musician. So he's paid for Paul Beasley. He's paid for a lot of the quartets. So I already had relationships with them, but it was just amazing. Right. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of geeked out. I'm real geeked out right now. I'm like, oh, I'm in quartet heaven. So, so at that moment, I calmed my nerves. I was very graceful. I had on a pair of jeans, a leather jacket, and I was very well dressed. I got up there, I spoke clearly, said who I was. And when I said who I was, I didn't know people knew me in the audience. They began to clap and cheer for the girl in Orlando.
Wow.
I was like, whoa, they like me. Woo, got it.
Yeah.
So it went like that. And then immediately people started asking me, do you host events? I was like, if you book me, I'll host yours. I hadn't had that,
Right.
Book me, I'll host yours.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened. It just started happening. It started happening.
What you just described is faith without works is dead. And that's the reason why I posed the question the way I did outside of God. Because when we're dealing with people of faith, of course, we understand our source, our reckoning, our because is only because of God. But then also we got to step our human element in. And my dad would say it like this: on the physical end, my name, son, can get you boys in a room, but it's your integrity and character that keeps you in. So when God opens doors for us, it's our walk, it's our integrity, it's our character, it's our spirituality that will allow us to stay in those spaces and even shift sometimes the atmosphere in those spaces. So that, man, that is dope. Now, I did see you do something. I was like, yeah, it's something about me. I like a little back on the block, a little hood. I like a little when you came and said, hey, look here. Y'all got my name on this flyer. I ain't agreed to all that. So Drina Penn ain't gonna be right here. Hey,
you can take her out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of her.
So how often has that happened to you? I can imagine, but how often does that happen when you start talking about emceeing or showing up and people padding their flyers to get people in off our likeness?
Yeah, it happens a lot. And sometimes I overlook it. I do. And but then there's sometimes where I've had to call 2 different promoters out on that. Yeah. And it was because I'm not a prostitute, and I'm not gonna let you prostitute me.
Ain't no room for pimping, dog. Ain't no room for pimping.
Ain't no room. See, what people need to understand is I'm work for hire.
Come on now. Come on.
The laborer
I'm a contractor.
Worthy. The laborer is worthy of the. Okay, that's all I'm saying. If I'm laboring, I'm worthy.
That's right.
So I work. This is a ministry, but this is a job for me. See, sometimes we get so spiritual and be like, oh, it's ministry, it's ministry, it's ministry. Baby, this is a business.
Come on now.
It's a business.
Come on now.
It's
if
a business.
If I come preaching, that's business. Church. That's ministry. But if you ask me to tell a joke, we're gonna have to get an invoice. If
you ask me to host,
invoice.
Business. It's business.
That's right.
It's business. It's business within ministry. Hello, somebody. Y'all gotta separate that. It's business within ministry.
That's right.
And so we deserve our pay. And then you want me to get to these quartet events and host a 6 to 7 hour program. It's 6 and 7 hours. And you don't think I deserve my pay?
And then they're going to say, here's $150 for 6 hours.
Let me tell you a story. I went to an event one time.
This is what we're here for.
I went to an event one time and I hosted. Then let my country girl come out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hosted this event and I did a good job. I know I did a good job. Everybody said I did a good job. They said I did a good job too. At the end of that event, because I was so trusting in this industry, didn't do contracts back, and I was just trusted the people. I trusted them. They said they was gonna send me the money later. They're gonna cash out me. I said, okay. Them people cashed out me $25.
In God we trust, but you can trust. Next time I see you, sucker. Oh no.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I got
Come on, man.
$25. I got
You couldn't even took
$25.
nobody with $25. You couldn't even took nobody to Applebee's, Drina. You couldn't have took nobody out to Applebee's.
My cash out wrong, and it was only $25, and it was an out-of-state event from Florida. It took me at least 7, almost 8 hours to get there, and I got $25. But let me tell you how my God worked. My God is amazing. I don't care what nobody say. My God is amazing. As I was walking out of that event, and this was before I even seen the cash out, I was walking out of this event, and this man who was a promoter, he was a promoter or something. He asked me, would I take several CDs of his group with me and distribute them as I traveled? He wanted to get their group name out. He said he had heard He said he heard great things about me, and that I would get, and that's what I did. You don't know how many artists I've had where they've sent me about 20 of their CDs, and every place I hosted in, I gave away at least 3 of their CDs, and now you're in their area. Your body never been there, but your music is now.
Yep.
Okay. So I did this to help artists. So as I was walking out of there, this man says this to me. And as he hands me the CDs, he also gives me $100.
Paid distribution.
Hello, somebody.
Paid distribution. Listen, put a pause right there.
Okay.
Artists, you got to become innovative. I get so tired of people finding out that we were on radio. Now we are both 2 Black-owned media company owners. Support Black media, but people be like,
we are content creators. We are content creators. We are establishers. There has been times where I have broke artists in my city. Where nobody had never heard of you or did anything for you until I brought you to my city.
Where else you getting played? Yeah, where else you getting played? I'm just asking, and I'm appealing. I'm gonna look in this camera right here. I'm appealing to you, the artists. No matter how small a platform is, I heard a legendary artist say, "There's no small radio stations.
There's no small stages. Come on." Even if it's a storefront church, it's an audience there.
You're in front of 10, 5, 2 people that never heard of you before. Wow. Man. Yeah. That is. Now listen, it's funny you said that because I emceed something before. And I know a lot of people prefer host over MC. And look, there's events that need a host, and then there's events that need an MC. Here's the difference. MC, it is a master of the ceremony. That means that you take control and move that ceremony according to the way the promoter needs it. Now, a host says, hey, this is my foundation. I get to set the environment. I get to set the temperature and the tempo. So that, if anybody's asking, that's the difference between a host and an MC.
That's all right? Good.
Clarity. But I just so happen to be emceeing. And a person was supposed to pay me, right? And they was going to try to get slick. Now, I travel with the same security company that Clay and Cleve used to travel with the Pilgrim.
Come on. I know that one.
So, but God said, we ain't going to use that security system this week.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. They was like, man, after paying all the groups, this is all we got. And so, man, I'm sorry, but here it is. Now, I'm about 12 hours away from the crib. what you paid me, I had double that in my pocket when I came, because that's just how I travel. But I got ready to, I was like, well, man, is it a place I can go on and change and go on and get ready to go? Because I don't want to drive in what I want to get comfortable in my sweats and all that.
Exactly.
So he goes, well, let me go and try to get some things. Long story short, that man picked up my backpack thinking it was his backpack. Okay. Regular old blue backpack, Drina. Okay. I look in, I say, hey, I think we switched backpacks. He handed me back my backpack, changed my clothes. I go. Lord forgive me. I get down the highway. Hey, brother, did I put anything in your backpack? Oh, I ain't checked yet.
Right. I don't know yet.
Yeah, so I stopped to get some gas, Drina. I look in.
And it was a blessing.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing. And here's the deal. I know it was God because it was what we had agreed for him to pay me. Ooh. Nothing more, nothing less.
Come on.
So that let me know you was about to pocket my little
what
change.
You was supposed to pay me.
Wasn't nothing more. It was exactly. And he
that's good karma.
Hey, he hit me back and said, hey, did you get a chance to check? I said, yeah, man, I'm at the gas station. No, ain't nothing in here. Because I didn't lie. I ain't lie. I took it out the bag and put it in my pocket. So it wasn't nothing in my bag.
So it wasn't in there no more. It wasn't in there no more. Yeah, it wasn't in there no more.
That's right. It's the semantics. You got to be careful on how you say it.
I'm so done.
But God always makes a way for people that don't make it. Yeah, you know. So I got a funny story before I get you out of here. It goes back to when we first started. Lady Drina said that the name Lady Drina, I teased. I said, make sure you put lady if you're going to put anything before Drina. And you do keep it and carry yourself as a lady at all events. So y'all, my best. Listen, y'all, Drina kicked into the event. Drina's, y'all can see her. I ain't got to, she's attractive. Drina had on this fit. I'm messing with Drina. Y'all know I'm a comedian. So I'm like,
what did I say? Okay.
I was like, psst, psst. And you could tell Drina's ear was hearing. And the first was like, I know good and well ain't nobody me. I said, excuse me, little mama, excuse me. Lord, please speak for me. Jesus, I can see all that. I can see all that in you, Drina. Speak for me, Lord. For real. I don't know how much. I said, hey, little mama, little sexy. You turned around and you was about to give me everything that God didn't want you to give me. And when you saw me, who it was, and I was laughing, you like, boy.
You play too much. That's what I said. You play too much because you about to get it. You were this close. Oh, because okay. He is gone home to be with the Lord, but I got to tell you what happened one time.
Okay.
So there was an artist, and this artist walked up to me at the GMWA Quartet in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And when he walked up to me, I felt it was inappropriate the way he walked up to me. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he stood in front of me as if he was blocking me from walking again. I read him his rights without cussing. Okay.
Oh, I know you did. I
read him his rights and let him know who I was. And I don't play that. What you ain't gonna do is that to me. Okay. And you'll never do it again. This boy, I didn't even know who he was. I just knew I stopped him in his track, right?
Uh-huh.
One day he inboxed me and he wanted me to listen to some of his music. And I had not forgot about the incident. I said, okay, sing your music. So he sent me his music. Music was really good. It was really good. And so I hit him back and I said, hey, go ahead and send me your IRC codes and, different things. I'm going to add it to light rotation. It's a great song. Okay. He then sends me a message back and he says, oh my God, I didn't even think you were going to listen to it. So I said, call me. What's wrong? I gave him my number. He called me. He said, man, you remember what you did to me at the Quartet Music Awards?
Listen.
had no clue. I didn't know it, baby. I listen, because the thing about being a woman in this industry that people don't say, a woman in this industry got to work harder than a man to
Yes.
keep our character, to keep our respect,
Yes.
to continue to be a lady in this industry. Do we always get it right? No, I haven't. I've had some mistake. Okay,
Yep.
it is what it is. I'm human.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, your integrity, your character, your name is what you have.
Yep.
And it's harder for a woman to rebuild a name than it
Yes.
is for a man.
Yes. And I will
So
say this to all of you that are watching this right now. This lady right here, that is a lady. And I tell anybody that story that when you approach Drina, you do it with respect. Now you ain't got to be like, "Hello, Queen," and all, but no,
no.
you make sure that you make a person, and that's just anybody who's been raised worth a dime anyway. You make sure a person feels comfortable with the approach, and then you allow a level of comfort to come. It may not come the first 6, 7, 8 encounters, but sooner or later, a person will feel that there's genuineness right there. And then
Right.
you allow them to feel that. And I would tell you this, and I'm talking to you, sir, and you know who it is, and I'm looking into this camera this time. You know who it is. This a lady, and I stopped a person in their track with that story I just shared. Yes, sir. You know who I'm talking to.
Wow.
And I said, "No, man, I don't know her to be like that because that's a lady." And I joked with her, and she didn't know who I was because I had changed my voice and everything. When she turned around, saw who I was, she was like, "Okay, I know he don't mean no harm." But y'all, please quit running down reputable people because maybe you done tried to talk to Lady Drina and it didn't work out so well. Don't know. But please stop falsely spilling things. And I say that in segue to get ready to let you get out of here, Drina, because you've been gracious with your time. In the state of where we are, fellas, and I'm on a campaign all this year, 2024. Black men, black women, we are teammates. We're not opponents. It ain't got to be a romantic relationship. It could be a business relationship. It could be a storage relationship, which is like a brother and sister or family type of relationship. But we got to make sure in whatever capacity that a black man and a black woman are feeling at the same time, we got to be supportive one of another. You got to raise that lady up. If she's not your queen, she's got to be at least a queen of the village. If we say it takes a village, then we got to start being better villagers. And so I appreciate your integrity. As far as when it comes to DL Marshall, I've never seen you anything but a lady, anything but fun, loving, jokingly, insightful when needed to. Continue on, stay encouraged. Lady Drina Ministries, man, congratulations to it. LL to the C. When you're not listening to any Marsh Media broadcast content, please go find Lady Drina Ministries and please listen to her show. Plays great music, great inspiration and talk. Talk about the talk show real quick, Drina, and then let them know where they can find it. The talk show that I see you. What is it?
Yes, I'm on the Beat 104.5
Yes.
FM.
Yes.
On iHeartRadio Orlando. It's really amazing. I'm super excited about it. A friend of mine brought me in on her broadcast, and I actually was a part of her broadcast and helped her when we were over at the other station. So she got this opportunity and brought me in, and
Dope.
she's trying to like dump it over to me, but I just come in and I'm able to be a part of it, help out with it. I'm actually one of the hosts now of it, and I'm also at Florida Man Radio station, which is 105.5 FM, which is a political talk show. So I do some political talk as well. So God is opening up some amazing doors. I am waiting for that actual door to open back up for what I did on air live, because that's my passion. I love that. I love love being able to play live music and get that quartet out and get that great music out and stuff like that. So if you're still looking for me to do that, I do that on my LLC page. I still do the Quartet Blast Hour. I do the Florida Fresh Fridays where we support all Florida artists, and we're actually 2-time award winners now for Florida Fresh Fridays, myself and my co-host Gerard Holmes. I still do the conversations for the culture. So I have so many radio platforms that I am still doing and I won't stop doing. And I'm super excited about it. And I'm helping a lot of people. There are some people that I have helped who yet still will not even acknowledge that I helped them. Maybe because I'm a girl. I don't know. Maybe because I'm a lady. I don't know. Maybe they don't want nobody to know I helped them name their show or I helped them start up. Anyways, it is what it is. But that's what God has allowed me to be able to do, is to be a helper. And I am getting ready to celebrate 12 years in this game, and I love it. It'll be 12 years in September. So I'm excited and I'm grateful for what God is getting ready to do.
Congratulations. And where can they find you, Drina?
You can find me at Lady Drina Live Ministries LLC. Everything is literally Lady Drina. And my personal page is Drina Penn. You can always follow me there. I do apologize, I cannot add any more friends, but you can definitely join by following my pages public. It's a ministry personal page. I share some of my children and all of that kinds of stuff, but you can join that page. And please be sure not to DM me with stuff that's inappropriate. Okay. I just have to warn you. I don't play with inappropriate stuff. Okay. So keep it business, keep it professional. I don't mind compliments and things like that. That's a beautiful thing. I love it. I compliment myself every day. But just be respectful.
Don't hit her with the pss, pss, hey, shorty.
Listen, I'm gonna trip you. I'm gonna trip you once I turn around.
Hey,
your face gonna hit the floor. Okay.
Hey, look, Drina, next time I'm gonna be like, hey, BK.
And the funniest thing, if you're in my hometown, all of the older people still call me Baby K. I can't outlive that name. I can't shake it. They swear that's my legal name down here, and it's hilarious. But well,
congratulations. Congratulations to all the outlets that have opened up to you. Thank you so much for taking time out. Congratulations on the Lady Drina Ministries LLC. Continue to do great strides, because I believe that God has given you an Abraham favor when it comes to ministry. As long as you keep on walking, he'll allow you to possess it. So don't tire out. You can get tired, just don't tire out. Just keep on leaning independent, which I know you already know. Right. And congratulations to you again with the Gospel Golden Triangle Awards.
Yes. Oh man, that's so amazing. I love it. Yeah. Thank you to them, man. It's amazing. I got several nominations this year that I've been getting emails. I'm trying to keep up with them, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have been awarded so many awards. I have probably 40 awards from various people in various places, and that's just amazing. I'm grateful. It's because that nobody has to honor you. Okay.
They don't.
Nobody has to give you anything. Your name don't ever have to come up and don't ever have to be mentioned. So it's a blessing that it is and it's done. I've been a part of establishing 3 Stella Awards for a radio station.
Wow.
And 4 nominations. So by the grace of God, I have been in rooms and platforms that are just absolutely amazing. The first year we won a Stella, the Lord spoke to me and said this was the year and that we were going to win that Stella. Nobody believed me. And I said it from day one. That's our Stella. We're going to win it. The Lord said it to me, and he's never lied to me. And I'll never forget, I went to Griff from Get Up Mornings, Eric Campbell. I went to Griff, and I said, Griff, this is our award. He was like, girl, you just a candidate. I said, Griff, this is our award. He said, okay, get to the second round. He just blew me off. Get to the second round. We got to the second round. I said it again. Griff, this is our award. We won this award, Griff. Right. He was like, Lord Jesus. Okay, Drina. We got to the finale, and we standing on stage. Griff and Erica Campbell was standing on the front row, and I'm looking at them like, this still our award. This is still our award.
Right.
And when they called out W-O-K, I looked, I was like, right? And so Griff screams from the front. He says, Lady Drina said it! Drina! Lady Drina said it! Drina! And then when we got off the stage, he rushes to the back. He was like, oh my God. I said, now, what you got to do is you got to call the radio station on Monday morning because I'll be back on air live. I said, you better call and tell these people you apologize to me up front that you did. He said, man, I can't believe it. I said, this is the thing about God. When God speaks something to you, your job is to believe it into manifestation.
There you go.
That's your job.
There you go.
Believe it into manifestation.
God said it. I believe it.
Just believe it. So it happened because I believed it and I didn't let it hit the ground. I believed it from the moment he said it. And
you know what I'm about to believe, Lady Drina? I'm about to believe that I'm finna drive past a car lot and I'm gonna get out.
Don't get it. Believe it into manifestation.
Touch it, Lord. I'm gonna touch it.
Believe it into manifestation. But I'm telling you, y'all got to just trust in God. If I leave anything with you today, trust in God. Trust in God and never forget to give him back his glory and give him back his praise. There is nothing that I've done that God didn't have a hand in. And so I always make sure he gets his praise back. One thing that I've always done in my radio ministry, I had a segment at the end of my show at 6:30 to 7, where I gave my show back to God. I would pray for the people. I give an inspirational message, and I always gave my show back to God. So I've always honored God in everything that I've done. And I believe that's why he continues to favor my life, because I never forget where I started, how I got there, and why I'm in the position that I'm in.
Amen.
It's not for me.
Y'all heard it from her. That's Lady Drina. She's been our guest conversationalist on DL's Backstage Past Conversations. Thank you so much, Drina. And man, y'all make sure that when you get done watching us, you rush on over there to watch Lady Drina, because the content is awesome. Lady Drina, don't go anywhere. Thank you so much. God bless you. Hang on tight. Hey, y'all, listen here, man. Y'all know Griff. He's a friend of the show. And man, hey, Griff, let me tell you something about them Chiefs. What? They went down to Vegas and did what? We was down there at Arrowhead West down there. All right, Griff, I salute you. I love you, brother. All right, man, that's going to do it for Mr. Savoir Fair, the voice, the DL Marshall. On behalf of On the Brown Bomber of Comedy, my on-air ride and die, my comedy comrade, Bam Brown, in his absence, man, y'all continue to subscribe to this channel I-70MM right here. YouTube, man, we've got the best in content. Y'all know DL's Backstage Past Conversations, the Arena Show, BU with Billy Bird, Dang DL, I Just Be Bam with Bam Brown. We've got Coffee with Charlie. We got Picture Perfect with Sean Lee. We got Marsh Media News Update every Monday morning, 10:30 a.m. And man, we're going to even add, I'm so glad to hear this. My youngest daughter has started a podcast show with her best friend, MT Reality, and they're coming. I used to tell her, you gonna be on. She's like, no, that she was like, Drina, no, God ain't told you that about me. And then all of a sudden, my daughter did the rollout video, the trailer herself, and I can't wait to share them with y'all, man. So hey, we're gonna get out of here. Remember, before I get out, as always, the gospel of Jesus Christ is contagious. Catch it. All that you do, do it godly. And until the next time, if it be God's will, I'm up out of here. Mr. Savoir Fair is every